Hi there, I'm Peter Overton from Kladworx, and today we wanted to look at doing an instructional video on how to install aluminium coping. For you out there that know all about aluminium coping, you'll be aware that there's several manufacturers and fabricators of coping, and so today we're looking at a system called Aluclad, but that's the one that's scoped and specified on this job that we're looking at. So we're going to go ahead and start to show you how to set out the brackets. Okay, so here we are looking at a 90-degree corner. So these are your parts where you start on. So as you can see, this corner's actually already been put on, but it's fairly straightforward. You set off with your setting out brackets. So you start off with putting your setting out brackets, obviously there. They're quite easy to make sure to set out. You just put your corner on and you can literally pencil on where your brackets have got to come to, and then it's just a matter of making sure that they're centralised on the wall, and then you can run them through on all your different walls, and then you get your setting out from that point. Also, you don't see these very often on main runs obviously, but this is what we call a half bracket. So these half brackets are used underneath, so that will either go there or it could go there. In either place, it doesn't really matter, but that is there purely to stop wind uplift on the outside of an angle or a 90-degree corner, because as you can appreciate with all coping systems, on the outside particularly, you get a lot of wind uplift, so it's very important that you've got these brackets underneath to ensure that they're secure and fixed down properly. So what the guys have done is, you'll notice that they have set out the corners. They've got all the corners level, they put all the brackets on both 90-degree corners. Sometimes there'll be obtuse angles, but these ones are 90-degree ones. And then they'll find their levels throughout the wall, because obviously some walls can move and change. So once they've done that, they'll run some string lines out, and then they'll set out all their brackets accordingly. So as you can see, these have all been lined out. These are all with their string lines. So they've run the string lines from that 90-degree angle right the way through to the other corner over there, and they've then sent them all out at 1 metre centres. As you can see, sometimes packing out is required, just to make sure that this preparation stage is done correctly. We was asked by the client to just silicone in the holes, so sometimes we do this as well, just to make sure that no water ingress goes underneath. So we'll silicone these underneath and we'll silicone them on top as well, and they also will need to put some neoprene gaskets on these. So as you can see here, we've got they've put 2 neoprene strips on here, because this is a bracket which is on a join. So that means 2 bits of coping are going to come in here. They'll have a 3 to 4 mil join here, and the neoprene either side. And obviously when the coping actually goes on, which you'll see in a bit, that will compress down on that neoprene strip. And same on these, on a singular one. These are what we call intermediate brackets, so they've obviously got 1 neoprene strip, no need for 2 on them, and this is fundamentally how the Aluclad system works. As I say, there's other systems around that work differently, which we can show you on later videos, but as you can see, the guys have put all the neoprene strips on here. Now we're ready to start putting some coping on. So this is a typical profile that we've just cut out just to show you. So it's got quite a large downstand on this, where we had to match up to the existing coping. So this gets clipped on to the outside, and then it gets pushed over and then clipped on the inside. And then once that clip goes down, it's quite hard to get off. Sometimes what we do on buildings that are higher up, like 3-4 metres, we'll also put a fixing on the inside downstand, just to ensure that it's secure, because obviously when buildings are 3, 4, 5 metres up, it's not as easy to get up there to solve a problem if something does arise. Right, so I thought that we can just look at these coping pieces. So as you can see, these are all measured out specifically for this particular job, but you can also get these in 3 metre, 2 metre, 1 metre runs, and also you can get them cut bespokely to suit as well. So these ones have actually been cut bespokely for this particular job, and when they're all set out, they also have, these have got 3 to 4 metre expansion joins in between, because the aluminium will expand and contract sort of 1 to 1.2 mil, depending in the summer. I might be wrong there, so there might be some people out there that don't hate on me too much, but the 3 to 4 mil is usually a good guidance. Most manufacturers specify that. Right, so here we've got a T-section. So a T-section generally is where you've got 3 lines of parapet running into it. And what can make these sometimes challenging is that you've got different variable wall widths running into like one piece, which is why this essentially allows you to transition all the different wall types. Especially when you've got a sloping coping, which this one is. So a sloping coping is where it obviously runs high on the outside, low to the inside to allow the water to run into the roof. So as you can see, we've got a slope coming in on this one. We've then got a slope coming in this one, and this one we've then got the slope coming in, I think it's that way, there we go, so it's running in that way. So you've literally got 3 different slopes to think about on one fabricated piece of aluminium. So that was quite challenging. And also, I don't know if you can get the camera out of your eyes, but just there we've had to match up to an existing coping as well. So what that means is we have to like match the profile of what was already on the building. So hopefully that video was helpful. This is actually a live job. We thought that we'd try and do something instructional rather than just do everything that's advertising all the time. So hopefully that's given you an idea of how to set out your coping moving forward. Obviously there's lots of different systems on the market, so Aluclad's just one of many systems that we install. If there's anything that you think that you'd be really that wasn't in the video that you'd find interesting or something you'd like to know, please leave it in the comments below, and then we'll try and cover that on future videos coming up. And you may have seen lots of water being pumped into the terrace there. They're doing a water test on the day that we're doing the video in, so as I say, it's a live job, so these things happen, right? So yeah, catch you up on the next video.